Turn your radio down. I can hear it over here. It's because the mic was going to cut. Okay. All right, everybody, here we go. Um, believe it or not, I finally just was able to just get on just now. And there was a glitch in my system. Stand by. Okay. There was a little glitch in my system, and I had to get everything situated first. But I think I got it pretty much going now, and I'm still kind of lagging. I don't know if some of you out there, your system is lagging, but mine is really lagging. I had at first I was thinking it was going to be it was a virus, but it's not. But anyway, but welcome back to the Tech and Terrorism America. This is our event on Frumps nigger-like infiltration system, filtration system versus the USA South Wall. And what we're doing here is we're just kind of playing counterintelligence with the whole situation in general. And if you've ever wondered in your mind what exactly the effects of having a wall would be, and if you've ever played any type of counterterrorism scenarios with having a wall there, what effects would it have on us as a country? Now, many of us already know that in history has told us that every time there's a wall separating us from one country to the other, especially a big wall as far as like the Berlin Wall, the Great Wall of China, all the walls they had built down in South America during the time of the Mayans. You have the 38th parallels that's separating North and South Korea, which is mostly, as it is said, to be encompassed with a lot of mines, and just that one little part there at the DMZ is supposed to be the opening part. But we've seen here in the past couple of months several soldiers jet across there like it wasn't a mining site, and the soldiers that were following didn't trip any either. So I really don't even really believe that, and even if I believe it, the mines are probably so old then. You know how many winters, and you know how cold the ground gets in Korea, so they may be to the point where they have really over corroded themselves just through extreme weather conditions. But anyway, again, I want to apologize to everybody for being late. I know I was supposed to do this at 7 o'clock. This is now way past that time. Just say that this is I'm on nigger time tonight. Okay. And some may wonder, why did he decide to call this the Frump nigger-like filtration system? Okay, all right. So I want to take you back. I want to take you back. I want you to realize the statements that were made in the presidential debate, where Frump indicated during the debate that he was interested in moving the American automaker corporations to Mexico, okay? Which means that if you move the whole American Automakers Association to Mexico and leaving wide open the whole Midwestern United States, and that means that everyone who decides to transfer, or if they are selected to transfer to keep their jobs, then they're going to go to an environment that is not so great to live in. Whether they have a job or not, who's to say that once they get there, if they're going to actually even be employed in the first place? You just got tricked and going down there for nothing. Okay, if you think about it, having a wall between the United States and Mexico, considering the $200 billion that this president has asked Congress to shell out funds that are to be compensated in return from our own tax dollars, which is going to take us, my God, centuries to replace. Okay, so why is it? How sound is that? Okay, if you think about it, why would an individual and just think of how many people are really supportive of or even discussing the idea of a giant wall to be constructed between us and Mexico. Yeah, I know that there's the importance of border security, but that's importance of border security to the north. So if we're going to build one to the south, well, why not build one to the north? Okay, it's just as dangerous. And the same thing to the south. They have natural streams and mountains and canyons, but in both places. You got Hudson Bay, you got the Great Lakes, you got all the areas around Vancouver. And it's the same thing, but it's just a wider area. And so securing, I think that if you were to really was serious about stopping terrorism, then how about build a great wall in between us and Canada to the north? Okay, that is a different reason why we're building a wall to the south. Okay, and there is a reason why the statement of why we're getting immigrants from shithole countries. Why don't we get some immigrants from like Norway? Okay, well, guess what? The people in Norway, if you take a individual and the way these people are being locked up right now for reasons that are almost unfathomable, that they are locked up and held in incarceration for a longer period of time, now seem like that in history. Okay, and this is how excited and incited these judges have become. They're looking at, this is what we call in the Marine Corps a kiss ass or suck butt, a brown noser, okay, a yes man. Okay, these are people that are in a position of implementing sentences that could incarcerate a individual on an offense where 10 years ago they may have gotten probation, but now it's like you get 15 years just for on a simple class A felony or class C felony. So there is something else. Okay, now some of you have probably heard me before in the past refer to this wall as being like a Mason-Dixon line. Yes, and I still believe that it would be like the Mason-Dixon line. You have between us and Mexico, where the wall presumably will be jettisoned. Should, well, it's been taken off the table now. Okay, she would say, hey, that doing that. Okay, which I'm sure that a lot of you out there are so glad that we're not going to take this bullshit from the sky. Okay, and this President Trump is a con artist. And I can tell you that game recognized game. And I'm not one of those who just easy to trick. Okay, I'm not easy to trick. Okay, so what I said all that to say this is that you can't just trick me to believe that there is going to be a structure of what we're going to agree to allow Congress to provide $200 billion 1 year after a president who has the thinking ability of a 8-year-old. And I say that is because of the responses that are so irresponsible, and then you get his advisors who come out and try to cover for him, and it's like I just know you just really don't expect me to believe that. Okay, and so if President Frumps' brain was to turn to some gasoline and to supply a Passat motorcycle, he wouldn't have enough fuel to travel around a BB. That's how minute his brain is. Okay, he is a very, very, very dumb man. Okay, and everyone's saying, well, if he's so dumb, why's he got all the money he's got? Okay, well, if you do the things that he's done, then, and the way he's done them, then yeah, you would think that he is rich. But he claims more than what he actually has and can prove, or has ever even possessed. Okay, he convinces others who are living below the poverty line, who want to try to make this big jump in life, and who they convince to allow them to manage their family's inheritance in a manner that jeopardizes the ability to actually maintain it any further, because you've engaged it in fraud. Okay, but however, the person who's promoting that this is done in that manner don't do it himself. Okay, in fact, not only do he not do it, he doesn't file taxes, period. Okay, it's easier to get away without filing taxes than it is to get away with filing taxes that are frivolous. Okay, so if you file taxes that are frivolous, with the by now everybody should know pretty much the structure and the how they do the house flipping, at least the basis of it. You can take that basis and you can apply it to in very many different ways. And it's not just necessarily to housing, but you can apply it to any matter. Like I told you, they switch in every December, April and August, every April, August, and December. Well, they also can switch a different way too. They do it in January, May, September, and then again in January. So it has to be offset, so that way you got to do it at least 3 times in a year. So it's going to either be a switch occurring first in December or January. And so don't think I'm like a lot of them. I've noticed that since the capitalization, it used to be that they only did it with that equation, but here lately, as the house flipping equation has been put on blast, and more people are starting to look into how is that possible, then they start to try to switch it around. But it's still recognizable. And I just want to reiterate to everybody, and I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. I've worked some very, 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 very complicated and complex cases with several different specialized federal agencies. And if you think that they're not paying attention, you're terribly mistaken. Okay, and a lot of times they know that you're going to make this mistake because they've already set you up for it. Okay, just like last week before last, I see someone post on Facebook, hey, let me give me $20, I'll get you $160. All right, and I said, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Okay, and then they come to find out they was trying to get everybody to invest in cryptocurrency, and this Bitcoin. Okay, well, let me tell you something. I've been to 14 different countries. Okay, and those 14 different countries that I've been to, out of every currency chart that I've always reviewed, even if I am in scorching temperatures in Saudi Arabia, or Torrejon, Spain, or England, or Philippines, wherever. Okay, whenever I see a currency chart, what currency is at the top? The United States dollar is at the top. So basically, I said I'll let the city. You're not finna go through and get involved in a multi-level marketing, okay, a scam that supposedly is promoted to replace the U.S. dollar. You're just not going to do that, okay? You're not going to undermine the United States dollar. When you start messing with the currency, the Department of Treasury is located right next door to the White House. And if you, I know a lot about the government, okay? You're not going to do that. So it's the same thing here with the real estate market. House flipping, don't do. It funds terrorism. Now, if we were to put a wall to the south in Texas, and this wall is so huge, okay, and if they did move the automakers, you just as well, just because the technique that's going on now, where so many people are selling that property and getting it taken, and they thought it was a good idea. Yeah, it sounds good. A paralytic will tell you everything. And if someone gets inside of your head and put this in your head that they can do this with their property, oh yeah, so did this and this, that. Okay, unless somebody can show you exactly that this person's giving you this cash, or someone's actually made this cash this way for so many years. Why do you think President Trump filed for bankruptcy so much? He filed for bankruptcy so much because the technique that he's using, it overburdens. It's the math problem. You're going to be upside down. It's the same way everyone else. You're going to be upside down. You don't have the intentions, hopefully you don't anyway, because I really just don't, because you will be subjecting yourself to criminal offenses, federal criminal offenses, which once it's all said and done. And I can assure you that this year, that if you're doing something with real property, rest assured, first thing off the, and I'm not going to, I said, and I'm going to try to curb my language, and every now and then I'll get overburdened and be happy about something, and I'll say something vulgar, but I'm trying to keep it clean. Okay, but back to what I was saying. If it's involving real property, okay, and if you are filing a tax return, and if it's a bizarre changes as far as extra expenses, extra claims to the property, other changes with regards to defaults in the property, switches in ownership of the property, the conditions of the property, how many people have had a tax filing number which encompass deals with regards to this property. It is going to be highly scrutinized. And as soon as they find out that it is a scam, you lose it. It goes into forfeiture. It's no, oh, well, this is such and such, it ain't mine, and I ain't tell him he could just, no, no, you did tell them you could do that. That's how they got to do that. Okay, so do not do it. You're not going to win. And and I mentioned that everyone should, and I don't care whose feelings you hurt, and it could be the person that you love the most, okay? But whenever you got someone who's going through plaguing the whole country, believing this and that and the other, when they're not even doing it themselves, with their whole sole intention is to, in the end, okay, downstreaming and monopolies. A monopoly means that you're engaging in a transaction where you will reap the benefits or collect the benefits at a later point. That's what it means. And downstreaming is the same meaning. You're downstreaming, you are receiving residuals from other income that's generated downstream where you collect at a later point. So yeah, it's all going to be scrutinized. Okay, and I mentioned before that from the Queen's Bench and 1173 under the Old English law from the King's Bench, Darcy worked for the Queen, and Mr. Allen worked at the haberdashery in London, haberdashery of London. Well, Mr. Allen went to sell cars, and he was kind of upset that he didn't have access to obtaining the cards as Mr. Darcy did. So a lawsuit came about, and they went to court. And so, however, at the end of the day, during the trial court, the court decided in favor of Mr. Darcy. Now, the last time, I didn't tell you what happened on appeal, okay? And it is important for you to know what happened on appeal. On appeal, the higher courts reversed the court's decision because monopolies are illegal under the Old English law, and it is illegal under the United States Code and all 50 states. I have researched each and every one of them, and there's not one state within the continental United States, to include all the U.S. properties, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, which support any type of business or dealings that would be supportive of monopolies. So it is an illegal act. If you get caught, you are subjecting yourself to prison. Okay? If you feel that someone is going to and actually engage in it, you have to do everything you can to stand in the way. And don't feel bad about who is getting upset, because the persons who think they're in charge, there's always other positions that goes along with that you can, it's like, if that's what it is, it's a government. Okay, probate rules are very strict, and probate rules also can get you in a real big bind, especially if there's an estate that has to be split between the others. If you do things that, such as if you unauthorizedly dispose of property of the estate, that's an automatic disqualification, and it could put you in a position that those funds that can be proven that you have misused in a manner that was unauthorized under the rules of probate for your state, and you're going to lose. You're going to pay penalties. It has to be fair. And another thing is that you want to also be concerned if there is a one-sided appearance in the government real property. So don't allow just because someone is trying to convince you of something else, don't allow that to distract you, because what you need to do is that you need to ensure that there's someone that's not there, that's actually looking at something and think they got a hold on things. No, that's one person, because see, there are other rules that governs that one person. That's the rules of probate. And since whoever holding that one person at bay, you don't qualify for anything. You automatically are disqualified because it's one-sided. You already got everything at your leisure, so you don't rate anything else. So now, moving right along. Putting the wall to the south of Mexico could be an attempt to downstream America, as we will see where in the movie Apocalypto, where the whole country was poverty-stricken, fighting for food, working all day in and day out, bleeding from the mouth. That's what will happen if you move the automaker to Mexico, put a big-ass wall up there, like a Mason-Dixon line, where you have no choice but to stay down there and build cars. You want to build them, and so, and everybody that they move out of here from the north and in place the areas around where the automakers were, well, they're gonna shave all that down with brand new houses. Now they're gonna take over. This is what giving the America back, okay? And a mentality of a white man who has ties to personnel that are supportive of groups like the KKK. Okay, they think like KKK. In order for you to comprehend or absorb what it is that I'm telling you, you have to be able to put yourself in their position on how you would rather see it in the end. What's the end result going to be? The end result is going to be, once they take all your property that they don't trick you out of because they just gave you a few $1,000s and you thought you was the shit. Well, guess what? You are the shit, okay? Because you have nothing but shit left. You got treated just like a fucking nigger. They fucking took your shit because you are a fucking dumbass. All right? That's what happened, okay? And that now that you have no more property, nobody has no more property, and we're going to be just like the people that are in Libya, okay? You get put behind the wall, they ship your ass over there with all the automakers that they're going to put over there, and they're going to auction your ass up like this group over here. You're going to work for Cadillac, this group, you're going to work for Ford, you're going to work for Dodge, okay? And you're going to work for the rest of your life until you fucking die. That's going to be your preamble, okay? So if you don't just get involved into scams, don't do it. And for one, you know it's ethically and morally incorrect. You think that? Do you think that if someone has sit here and told you, showed you certified proof and court orders from all these federal court jurisdictions that you're going to be fucking smart enough to go in there when I'm telling you not to do it and how to do it? Okay, you think they're not fucking looking for that? If you think that, you don't need to be in charge of shit. Okay, fucking listen to what I'm telling you. Just like with the Bitcoin or coin argument, I'm telling you what happened. Don't do it. Don't do it. And what happens? Everything I said the very next week is what happened. All right. So I'm not gonna keep beating this stick, but that fucking wall down there, that's where you're gonna be. You're gonna be a motherfucking nigga working on the other side of that bitch, while these motherfuckers over here gonna take your shit. You're gonna filter in white folks from the north, because ain't no niggas coming from up that way. We don't go up that way. We don't go up. It's too fucking cold up there. We're not going up that motherfucker. Okay? We gonna come in from the motherfucking goddamn beaches and shit. Okay? We're not coming up through fucking goddamn Iceland and the Antarctica and shit. No, we're not fucking going up that field. No, we ain't gonna come or whether the fucking bird is a fucking penguin. No, we're not gonna do it like that. Okay? We coming from up here on a raft in a fucking $3 air mattress from Walmart or something. Okay, that's how we coming. Okay, so through the water. So no, that statement within itself, it says a lot. But no, this man is trying to get the dark colors up out of here forever. Okay, and the only people that's gonna be coming in here are gonna be white folks. Okay, so once he get each and every one of these niggas up out of here, and you work behind that wall, that's where the fuck you gonna be at. Who's gonna say whatever? Who knows? You may get this mother. If you put Trump there, okay, these fucking idiots may put David Duke there next, okay, and then we really be in fucking trouble for real. I wouldn't be surprised. So just think about what you're doing, and if somebody tells you something, at least give it a couple seconds of a thought, and at least give what I tell you a few seconds of a thought, because what I've told you thus far is truth. Now, last comment today is that if you noticed that yesterday they announced that there was not going to be any questions that's going to be asked of President Trump and the deposition that's up and coming. Well, today I did file for a deposition against Mr. Trump myself, and I've asked the courts to be included within the team to depone President Trump during the time for deposition. Okay. And so let's see what happens. And so it's my case. It is confusion. I've served him twice and there's no answer. And so what are my other recourses? And so they have to. So let's see what happens. And so they left that open. I'm trying to get a deal. And if anything, at least I got a chance to say, at least I got a chance to question a U.S. sitting president under cross-examination. That would be an honor within itself. Okay, but even though it is, look who I'm talking to, that's not really an honor. But the position is an honor to be able to do that. But I really wish it was someone that had a caliber like Barack Obama or something. Now that would be a good honor right there. If you get opportunity to question a motherfucker like that under cross-examination, now that is an honor. But the question motherfucker like Trump, well, it ain't nothing. He did nothing but fraud and stole and lie and fucking just frivolously wrote down some motherfucking numbers and scam folks and just set you up to take your shit. Now this motherfucker is a bigot. He is. And so I'm not gonna say I'm sorry, sir, because it applies. And with that being said, from the Take of Terrorism, this is our intake on what as you were last day. A shithole is the financial district on Wall Street. Okay, a shithole is where they find a business entity that has a known defect or known history of defaults on tax commitments that have been through that entity. Okay, that's the reason why the Blessed Parish Department had 6 filing numbers in the state of Iowa. Okay, they all dump through that business entity's filing, and then they collect off of it. That's what a shithole is in the financial world. And shithole was through his mind that day because document number the day prior, I made it known that docket number 178 in my bankruptcy, the exhibits 3 and 4, encompass businesses that were affiliated with Donald Trump and that those went in. So that's what a shithole is. So all that, I got work to do all weekend, and those out there that that's a few people that have differences, but and unfortunately, since that there is evidence that there's something, and I'm sorry if you get pissed off. Oh well, it's just what it is, and this is just how it is. Okay, so I hope you sleep with that, because I'm not gonna lose a wink over it. Now, good night, everybody. I know it probably don't make sense to you, but it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense to me and the people that it applies to. All right, very well. Bye. Man, he's so fucking nice. I got some. It's where it is. Well, that's Hey, I hit your wallet. No, I got your wallet in my pocket. Here's my wallet. My bad. I don't say tell my your wallet. Sorry, no, your wallet's in my pocket. And here's my wallet in the bed. Right here it is. I knew I did. Ah, a motherfucking beast. Well, this time I'm gonna be. It's a horrible idea. Okay. Get away from here.